Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Algebra 1, Part 2, Chapter 8, Section 4. So we've been learning how to multiply polynomials together. FOIL is a shortcut. Setting them up in a vertical multiplication. I shouldn't say, it's a little bit of a shortcut. Vertical multiplication is a way to set these up just like 2-digit numbers, 3-digit numbers when you multiply them. Today I want to talk about 3 more shortcuts. If you recognize them, it makes these problems go so much faster. Is it the only way to do it? No, but it is a shortcut. So let's look at this here for a second. What we have here is a sum being squared, something plus something, and then on the outside of the parentheses we have being squared. Here's what this means. I'll be underlining what the shortcut is. Squaring something, take something times itself. Okay, so I'm going to go back and use FOIL to say a times a squared, a times b, of course we got something under. There we go. And then a times b. I know I did my inners and outers in the wrong order, sorry. What's that give us? A squared 2ab plus b squared. Here's the shortcut I'm telling you. It's this right here. And that, we'll go back to our original. So a plus b, the coin square. Take a and square it. Take the product of these two terms. So what's a times b? ab. And double it. Take your last term and square it. If I can remember those things, I avoid these steps right here. I get right to the answer. So let's look at it through a couple examples. Start with this one right here. Quantity of 3x plus 5 squared. You are more than welcome to go and write 3x plus 5, 3x plus 5, and do FOIL. Let me show you how the shortcut works. Then we'll prove it through FOIL. So my first term is all of this. So I take 3x and I square it. So in my head, it gives me 9x squared. Then I take the two terms and multiply them together. So in my head, I see 15x. And I have to take that times 2 plus 30x. And then I have to take this last term and square it plus 25. So let's look and see how that applies over here. Again, I can't remember this for some reason. It's new. Okay. Then resort to FOIL. But I'm telling you, you'll speed things up. So first, 3x times 3x. 9x squared. Outers. 15x. Inners. I didn't screw that up. I'll go back and think about it. Plus 25. Like terms. 9x squared plus 30x plus 25. Shortcut. That's what it's about. Today is all about getting you faster in these problems. Shortcuts. So let's see what we have here. Here we have a sum being squared. So according to the shortcut, we are going to take, and again, I'm right, you don't have to even do this stuff if you can do it in your head. I'm writing stuff that's going on in my head. 8c has to be squared, so that's going to give me 64c squared. I got to take the product of these two terms. That's 8 times 3, 24 CD, but then that has to be multiplied by 2. And then you got to take this last term, 3d times 2, by the way, and square it, plus 9d squared. One more example with the sums being squared. All right, so we see this. Again, what's going on in your head, or what should be going on in your head? These things. I recognize, okay, plus sign being squared. First term, 3x, and I have to square that. 9x squared. Product of the two terms. So that's 3 times 4, 12xy. That has to be multiplied by 2, plus 24xy. And then the last term gets squared, plus 16y squared. Okay, so there's a sum squared. Well, we also have a difference squared. Oops. So with a difference squared, here's the beauty of this. It's no different other than one sign. So, again, let's FOIL this thing here to begin with. That means a minus b quantity of a minus b. A squared. Outers, negative ab. Inners, negative ab. Here's the key. Negative b times negative b is positive b squared. A squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Notice the difference there. So what am I going to do here? First term is a, square it. A squared. The product of the two terms, a times negative b, is negative ab, but then you have to double it, so times 2 minus 2ab. Key ingredient where people make mistakes, details, is negative b squared, or negative b times negative b. Negative times negative, positive b squared. Positive b squared. So a couple examples. Start here. Let's go shortcut route. So I'm going to see my first term is 2x. So in my head, 2x squared is going on. I know that is 4x squared. In my head, the product of the two terms, negative times positive. So negative 10xy, and that's getting multiplied by 2, minus 20xy. And then the last term, negative 5y squared. Negative times negative is positive 25y squared. Shortcut. Yes, you can FOIL that thing. Yes, you can set up a vertical problem and do it. This is taking me less time to do all that stuff because of the setup. Okay, looking at this one. Same deal. I'm writing. You don't even have to write this stuff down. Get it right in your head and move on. I'm just doing this for note purposes. First term, 6p. We got to square that quantity. 36p squared. Product of the two terms. Negative 1 times 6 is negative 6p. And then you got to double it. So minus 12p. Last term, negative 1 gets squared. Plus 1. Our third example for a difference squared is the following. So let's see if we can do this without showing our work. Our first term is a, so we have to square it. A squared. Product of the two terms, negative 2ab, and we have to double that. So minus 4ab. Last term, negative 2b, but that's all being squared or times itself. Positive 4b squared. Again, FOIL it if you don't believe me. And our third and final shortcut. This one, again, two terms, binomials. We have sum times a difference. So, if I were to FOIL this thing, I'll write it off over here to the side. Here's what would happen. We got a plus b, a minus b. So we FOIL. First terms, a squared. Outer, negative, ab. Inner, positive, ab. Last terms, positive times negative, b times b is b squared. But notice what happens here. They are exact opposite of each other, so they're going to cancel each other out, leaving us with a squared minus b squared. So the point of this one here is if you recognize a sum and a difference, and again, exact same term, one's negative, one's positive. All the other digits and stuff are the same. You can cut to the chase, and that is forget the inners and outers of FOIL. And that is just take the first term, which is a in both of them, and square it. Inners and outers will cancel each other out if this is true. And then say minus the last term, which is b squared. Minus the last term, which is b squared. A shortcut. Inners and outers of FOIL will not have to be done if we recognize that. So let's look at a couple examples. So I'm jumping right to it. I'm not going to do FOIL. You can off to the side if you want, and then ask questions in our live sessions. Here we go. First term, 2x squared, 2x squared. I want to square that. Good, I hope you said it while you did that dramatic pause. 2 times 2 is 4. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th power. Positive 6x squared, negative 6. Again, don't have to do that. They cancel each other out. So we take our last term, which is 3, and square it. You're done. That's the beauty of memorization. If you sit down and take the time to get it memorized, that's how fast you can get through these problems. That's how fast you can get through the problems. Try this one. First term squared, 3n, 9n squared. Middle terms, again, they're gone. Negative 6x, or 6n and positive 6n, they cut each other out. Minus 4. And again, we're all in this hurry to get through all of our work. If you ask me, if I see that, boom, I'm on it. And try this last example. 4c, so 16c squared, 7d. Now, just because the minus sign is here and the plus sign is here, whereas plus, it doesn't matter. We can do this in any order because it's still going to give us the inners and outers canceling out. And then minus 49d squared. Your assignment will be put up in the Google Classroom. That'll be worksheet 8-4. Just don't write answers down. Show me your work. Show me how you're getting through this. Now, some of these, if you get this down, that's going to make life easy for you. I can't say show your work because you can get around it. Shortcuts.